Hi, welcome and greetings. We're here for another podcast interview for my Rise Up Mama podcast series. My name's Vanessa and I'm a lifestyle coach, and I'm going to introduce you to my marvelous guest.
Mhm.
Before I do so, I just wanted to let you know that this podcast series has been interviewing a number of guests that have been kindly contributing to my health and well-being series, which happens at the end of the month. So I'll let you know about that a little later. But yeah, for myself, I've been working with busy mums to help them with their fitness and their nutrition. And I work with women and mums in such a way that it's about helping you to live a healthy, active lifestyle that you can incorporate into your existing commitments. And we
Mhm.
have a lot of fun along the way. But as I said, today I've got a wonderful woman with me. Her name's Victoria, and she is an emotion and body code practitioner, which is very, very new to me. So I'm so excited to hear from her. I've got a few questions for Victoria, but we're just going to have a little chat. So we hope that you gain value from our conversation. Welcome, Victoria.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm very excited to be here with you today and to share some information and knowledge that I've gained through my years as well.
Oh,
So I'm very
wow. How brilliant. So, Victoria, before I go into the questions as such, do you just want to give us just a little bit of information about who you are, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, the story today is all about the word, but who am I? So, I am an emotional code and body code. I'm a qualified emotional code and body code practitioner through Dr. Brad Nelson. I've been doing this now for a couple of years, and we've done over 200 cases and helped people. But a little bit about me. So, I live with my mum at the moment. I was so blessed. A couple of years ago in July, we decided to live together, which is probably in hindsight, the best thing, with COVID that went on. And the reason why I want to talk about Madeleine, who's my mother, is because she's got over 40 years of experience on all modalities you can think of. And for years, she's always wanted me to come underneath her line, as it were, to be a student, to learn all the things that she knew. But it has to be all about the right timing, doesn't it? It's got to be the right timing.
Yes.
So we had a business, and I just didn't feel that I connected. No matter how much money you was earning or how much you were successful, I just felt I had a belonging to be with my mum, to learn all the things that she could give to me. So 2 years ago, over 2 years ago, I decided to pull up my shoes, as it were, get rid of everything that we had, and focus on energy healing. So that's my
Wow.
passion, and now that's my life work, Vanessa, is to learn everything from Madeline, to sponge all the information that she knows. A bit like Matrix, you can plug
Right.
yourself in and learn all that information.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why we set up Gentle Harmonies. So that's Madeline and myself. So that's a little bit about me. So in COVID, we're very blessed that we live together. We live with our dog and a couple of fish as well.
Oh, wow. How exciting. So you're busy as well, very nurturing individuals. And, I'm going to be interviewing Madeline next
Yeah,
month.
she's
And I
really
have, yeah, I've spent some time with both of you on a call, and we had such a giggle. I really came off that call so energized and just full of life. So give thanks for that. So, yeah, like I said, I've got a few questions for you.
good.
And the first one, Victoria, I just wanted to find out, you touched on it a little bit, but if you could expand on what's got you interested in the current line of work that you're doing, please.
Oh gosh, I mean, how long have you got for me to tell you this? Well, for years and years, Vanessa, I just felt like I was a beacon of negativity, no matter, because I'm very positive in my thought process, but no matter what happened, you know what they say about it just kept us sticking. No matter what happened, I had bad situation, and I felt like somebody was pouring cement through my body. I just felt really heavy. So no matter how many meditations I did, no matter how many yoga positions I did, no matter how much Reiki I had or energy healing, it just couldn't move. It couldn't shift this feeling that I had. So I kept thinking to myself, why is it all going wrong for me? All my friends have got all the luck in the world. Why me? So I got to the point where I thought, I can't cope with this anymore. I was on tablets from the doctors, from mental health, because
Okay.
I was struggling. So I thought to myself, I have two decisions here, Vanessa, two decisions. I either carry on the way that I am, which eventually is going to go down and down, or I think to myself, I'm going to make a change. I need to make a change here. So I've always been interested in the power of the word, or the power of the thought, or the power of the mind. So I started studying all the greats, Tony Robbins,
Wow.
Joe Dispenza. I started to study them to think, well, what is it they're talking about? What is it that I can do to change how I'm feeling? Because just by using words alone is not working. I was doing affirmations in the morning and post-it notes all over the house,
Wow.
post-it notes in the bedroom, in the bathroom, but they just did not work. So a couple of years ago, and this is why it started, a book was given to my mum, who passed the book on to me, which was the Emotional Code book.
Oh, wow.
And this has now become my Bible. And I was listening to a video that Dr. Brad Nelson, who was the author of Emotional Code, was talking about. And do you know what it was, Vanessa? He said something that all of a sudden the light bulb went off. I thought, do you know what? That's it. And he was talking about going home, the place of home.
Oh,
That
wow.
sometimes where we are on planet Earth, we can struggle because we might have come from somewhere like planet home or wherever it may be, and we've got all these emotions and we can't release them. So I read his book front to back, side to side. I watched all of his videos and I felt like I was 10 years younger. And all of a sudden, all of these negative thoughts just started to disappear one by one. Stop taking the antidepressants, put those in the bin. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And then I became a qualified emotional code practitioner, which is all about how do we find emotions to release these feelings. But as I was doing it and I was learning, I could feel my body changing. I could feel my whole body posture changing as well, and my mental health. And then I did the body code, which is the second part to it. And I've never looked back, Vanessa. I've never looked back. So, it's taken over 10 years off my life, and I feel lighter and I feel so very like I could take on the world. That's how I feel.
Wow.
So that's my story.
Tears in my eyes. I've got tears in my eyes because this story is so uplifting.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about what you've said is there seems to be a connection with personal development along your journey as well, which, it's amazing. And for anybody who's been following the series, last month I did have a personal development coach on the call with me, and we were referencing Tony Robbins. You can see the tears coming. It's all real. Yeah, we were referencing Tony Robbins and other personal development mentors as well. But again, now you've taken it to another level in terms of our emotion. And what I really felt from what you said was about this connection with our soul. And this is something that I've been looking into as well. I think even over the last few days, I've been hearing that same kind of conversation that you said. So thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
So, could you tell me what's the favourite thing about the work that you do then, please, Victoria?
It's seeing the light bulb moments to the clients. That's what it is. We've done over 200 cases with clients, and we've got clients coming to us. I've got one client, obviously I can't mention the names or whatever. She's over 70 years old. And from being, since she can remember, she's always had these negative feelings. She's tried counseling, she's tried meditation, she's tried everything you could possibly think of, even holistic medication as well. She tried it all, and she just feels the same way. Now we're on I think about our 20th session, which she's, the up of the extreme of how many sessions people tend to have. But all of a sudden now she's saying to me, do you know what, Vic? She said, I can feel like I'm me for the first time ever. I'm starting to feel like I have a purpose in life, rather than just plodding through mud all the time and not knowing what's going on and just trying to lift my head up above the ground and just survive every day. She feels happiness for the first time. So you can't get any better than that, can you, Vanessa?
No. It's service to others.
Can't get any better.
Service to others is such an uplifting feeling.
I'm so humble when that's just one story out of stories to give you. So, and it's animals as well. We've done another session with an animal that was very depressed and very sad because their other dog passed away. So after we had a couple of sessions with the animal, all of a sudden the animal's now starting to play, starting to want to go out, starting to sniff for the lead. So it's amazing. It really is humbling. It really is.
Well, that's very interesting that you've mentioned the healing of animals, because we lost our cat in November, and
Oh,
he was the brother to
mhm.
our female cat. And I definitely noticed a shift in her mood. So that'll be something that I'd want to talk to you about,
Absolutely.
because she was quite I'm going to say quite a moody cat anyway. And he was so playful and loving and always wanted to be with her. And she never was really that bothered. But I know that she misses him. I
Of
can feel
course.
it.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So this is for the human. Well, I like the word creator being now, actually.
Yeah.
This is for the creator being, and also for our beautiful animals that, caring
Your
for
lights
animals.
flashing in the background. I love that. Look at
Oh,
that.
thank you. It's my winter wonderland.
Oh, I like that. Yes, I've just noticed it.
Yeah, thank you. It's the winter wonderland. The only struggle that I've got is I do need to find a suitable background for when the spring comes and when the summer comes. So I'm going to keep my eye out on these things. But thank
Very
you.
pretty.
So I think you've touched on this a little bit in reference to the book that you shared,
Mhm.
but I'm going to ask you about a professional mentor.
Yes.
I mean, you could talk about the author of the book a little bit more. If you have another mentor, it'd be great to hear about that, please.
Well, Dr. Bad Nelson saved my life. I know that's dramatic. I know that that's how I felt. I felt
Yeah.
like he saved my life. But the biggest mentor that I have is got to be nobody else than Madeleine. Absolutely. You
She's adorable.
can't.
She really is. I mean, in
Yes.
the sense of like, I just connected with her straight away. I mean, I know that we're on this online platform and we haven't had the pleasure of meeting each other in person yet.
Yeah.
Both of you, I was like, oh, this lady's just fabulous. Tell me about Madeleine.
Oh wow. Well, she's had it all as well. She's had, she's been living in the corporate world, and she's had her challenges and she's had her struggles. And I've never met anybody in my whole life that can keep her head up high and keep going. My dad passed away back in 2013, and she just keeps going. No matter what's been thrown at her, she'll keep her head high. She'll keep that positive mind going, and she just keeps going. And she just wants to serve as many people as she possibly can. Oh, I'm filling up now, Vanessa.
Good, good,
She wants
because
to serve as
she's
many
so
people as she wants.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she. That's why we call her the Oracle, because she knows
Right.
so much stuff and she has so much love to give. So that's why she's my mentor and my mother. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, you can see you've got such a close relationship.
Oh, we
And I
have.
know that you said to me, was this podcast for both of us or just for myself? And like, I felt a bit bad saying it was just for you.
Oh,
Maybe we can do a follow-up where I basically get you both back on the call, because the energy that you have together, and we'll talk shortly about where people can find more information about what you
oh,
do and everything.
absolutely. Yeah.
And I will encourage my listeners to really, because actually, can you recall, Victoria? That's how I connected with you. It was because
Yeah.
I watched your YouTube video, and
Mm.
it was looking at, I could tell, I don't think if straight away I knew that you were a family unit, but you must have said something within the call where I was like, oh, it's mother and daughter. And the energy between you, I was so absorbed in what you were saying. And
We're
that's
like
why I reached
we're like
out
the
to you.
we're like the ant and deck of the energy world.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Brilliant.
We are. We're like the
Okay.
ant and deck of the energy world.
Well, like I said, for anybody who's listening to this or watching this, make sure you stay tuned in, because I will be interviewing Madeleine next month. So we'll hear about her
That's
story and
so.
her wisdom on the next podcast. But let's go back to you, Victoria. So obviously, we're talking about energy.
Mhm.
You've described what's actually, your favorite elements of your work, which is serving others. But what keeps you energized as a practitioner?
Okay. Well, the first thing I always do is the power pose. Have you ever heard of the power pose?
From Tony Robbins, yes.
Oh, absolutely. So it's the more one of the it's scientifically proven that, because we have over 35 trillion cells within our body, and each cell that we have vibrate at a different frequency. So how are we going to get these cells all excited, ready for the day? So I do a power pose where you stand in whatever position you wish, and you say whatever words you wish to resonate through your body to keep get your body energized. And it's like you plugging into some Duracell batteries to keep you going through the day. So that's one thing I do. Another thing I do, just having sessions with our clients. We offer, free sessions for people that can't afford to have energy healing. It shouldn't just be all about, well, how much can I charge? It's how much can I give? So even just having the sessions, because as an energy healer, for anybody out there that are energy healers, they're going to understand this. You get healed as you're healing other people as well. So that's one of the biggest rewards I have. Obviously, water is the biggest thing, isn't it? Drink plenty of water, and mindset. Because even though, I've got rid of my antidepressants, and even though my mindset and my mental health is so much better than it ever was, sometimes you're still going to have the downs. It's not a straight line of recovery, it's an up and down. So how many downs do I have compared to the ups? Well, they're hardly any. So when the downs come, I'm ready for it, mentally ready, and I'm allowing that to happen as well. So that's how I keep myself energized whilst doing energy healing.
Thank you. But how do you clear other people's energy, Victoria? And the reason why I'm asking is I was on a group healing session on Tuesday, I believe it was, and is it called theta? Is it theta meditation?
Beta meditation.
No, not beta. Is it? Was it? I don't know.
Theta. All right.
Theta. Theta.
Yeah,
I'm not pronouncing it properly. We did a theta meditation, so
right,
we
yeah.
went straight to the 7th level to be with source. It was amazing, honestly. One of the things that the practitioner did is made sure that we could, I suppose, detach from anybody else, other people's energies. Remember, this was all done online. Other people's energies that we may have picked up. And I know from a coach's perspective, when I'm working with my clients, not that I have anything like a ritual or anything like that I do, but as you know, some people do absorb so much of your own energy. But how do you sort of like clear any like maybe negative energy you picked up from your clients or whatever?
Okay, so ironically you say this because we do a live Facebook show every Monday and it's always about a certain topic. And not last week, but the week before was all about how do you absorb emotions from other people and how do you protect yourself? So what we do, because everything is energy, if you think about the Wi-Fi, it can reach out so far. Our energies can reach out so far. So if you have no protection, anybody can just absorb or get into your energy field. So we call it a shield. So what we do is we imagine, and we go through this with everybody, we put a shield up to protect ourselves from receiving, absorbing, or having any frequencies or vibrations that could get into our body that could affect our energy field or could affect our vibrations. So when you put the shield up, we teach people how to put the shield up. When you come to such a point, when you say the long sentence of how to put a shield up, whenever you go somewhere new or if someone comes into your house or if you're on a Zoom call like this, we always say shield up. And it's like Batfinger. I don't know if you remember Batfinger as a cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
So we put our shield up to protect ourselves. So then we are working with people's energies. We don't absorb them. But however, sometimes little ones can get through. So because going back to how privileged I am, the fact that I work with my mum, who's a 40 years expert energy healer, when we finish with a client, we'll do a check-in with each other. How you feeling? How you doing? We might go on the silent just to release those trapped emotions. Because I use kinesiology or muscle testing, I muscle test to make sure I've disconnected with that person, like you would do once our call's finished, we'll disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing which I do as well is wash my hands. Some energy healers do this. Whilst they're finished with somebody, they'll wash the hands, which also helps them disconnect from that person. So that's how we protect ourselves from absorbing other people's emotions.
So the washing of your hands, is this even during this online period as well then?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So once I finish with somebody, if it was a really deep session where we got rid of some stuff, and afterwards because what happens is when I'm in someone's energies, I'm feeling what they're feeling. I can feel the energies that can be released. I can get emotional with them as well. So you're as one together. So then once I've disconnected with the person, if I'm still feeling a little bit either angry or emotional or whatever feelings I have, I'll go and wash my hands, have some intentional thoughts, ask for the power of the bee or the higher power, and ask for my protection to be fully up, and then wash my hands as I'm doing it. And I've always found that really works. And because obviously there's a big, massive world out there of practitioners doing the same as what I do, there's a forum and we speak to each other. And there's a lot more people do that than what you realise, wash the hands afterwards as a ritual, as it were, if you want to call it a ritual, to disconnect yourself or to help protect your energies.
Wow, that was deep and amazing. I was like totally with you on that. And one of the things that I'm thinking is, you know what? I really enjoy these podcasts. And,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, obviously it's to share the knowledge of the guest
Oh,
speaker before the event. I gained so much from speaking to so many wonderful people that I've been interviewing, and it's helping me to think about how I can move forward in my coaching practice, because ultimately I want to be serving a lot of people. So
mm,
to be able to do that, I need to get my own foundation of, well, okay, how can I release some of
yeah,
that energy as well? So thank you so much for that.
you're more than welcome.
Okay, so we spoke about the book that you're presently reading. So I get the impression that, is it called The Body Code?
Yeah, so it's the emotional.
Emotion Code. That's
Yeah,
one of your go-to books, like every day. But are you reading anything else at all?
yeah. Oh, I don't know if you've ever heard of Joe Dispenza.
I
So
have heard of his name. I'm not that familiar with his work. I've seen a little bit of interviews that he's done, but not that much.
well, a bit about George Dispenza. He's all over the place at the moment. He's a doctor in neuroscience, and he's all about, how does our brain waves connect about the power of the thought? It's only been since the 1970s, Vanessa, that scientists have realized that our heart is the most powerful organ in our body. And it's the heart that actually attends the messages of what we should and shouldn't do. It's the brain that's the obeying part of it. It's the heart that's the doing. So what he's done is written a few books. One is The Supernatural. We can be powerful people. We shouldn't rely on other people to bring us power. We have the power within. So this is all about changing the habits of what you are. So for example, Tony Robbins talks about habits as well, does he not? And we will do the same thing day in and day out without realizing. So bit of an experiment for your listeners if they want to listen to have a go at this. Think about 3 of your friends that you have at the moment, your 3 close friends that you speak to more than what you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Then think about the kind of conversations you have with these 3 friends that you've got. What do they say? Does one friend always talk about work?
Mm-hmm.
Does one friend always talk about their relationship? He's done it again. He's left me. He's done it again. Or does one friend always say, I can't do anything. I'm skint. I've got no money. I've just been paid. I've got no money left. What do these 3 friends say? Now think about what they say. Then think about their lives. Their
Okay.
lives will be the story they tell.
Okay.
So how do you change the story you tell? You change it with words. And
Mm-hmm.
you can't just change it with words, but you've got to break the habit. So this is what this book is all about with Joe Dispenza.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking the habits of being yourself. It's fascinating, it really is.
Well, I'm just thinking about who I am out of those 3
Yeah.
out of those 3 characters that you've described. And I'm proud to say I'm the workaholic, in the sense of I'm building something, and I know that to be able to, in a sense, create the life that I want to have for myself and my family, I need to put foundations in. So I am the workaholic. But luckily, my best friend, who I would say my best friend, talks about relationships.
Happy.
Well, I talk about mine as well, because that's, women to women.
Yeah.
But luckily, she knows who I am, and she's so supportive that she will always ask me questions, how are things going, what are you doing, type of thing. So it's interesting, that story, because I know who I am in that. Brilliant. So thank you for sharing all about that book. And yeah, I think what I'll probably do once I build up some more of these podcast interviews is actually start reading the books that have been recommended myself and do some reviews on them as well. I think that would be a lovely
Yeah,
follow-up. So
absolutely.
thank you. Now, this is interesting. You spoke about the heart.
Yes.
And as you know, at my event, I always like to showcase one of my nutritional products.
Mhm.
And this month, it's going to be on heart health.
Oh, wow,
And
how important.
yeah, exactly. and the nutritional products that I can help people with to obviously maintain or improve, in some cases, their heart health. So I
Mm.
just wanted to ask you, how do you focus on your heart health, Victoria?
Now, Vanessa, this is my second favourite subject. My first favourite subject is how can words alone transform your wellness? My second favourite subject is how can we look after our heart? So this is a second passion of mine. Now, we can build up what was called a heart wall of emotions. So we have our own internal health and safety officer. So you can't get to 46 years old. I think that's what I am, Vanessa. I've lost.
We spoke about that. Can you remember? Because I'm going to be 45 this year.
I lose count. Do you know, I've only got 10 fingers. After 10 fingers, I'll lose track. So you can't get to a certain age in life without experiencing some kind of grief, some kind of loss in relationship, some kind of heartache, or somebody being a meanie to you. So that's what happens. So our internal health and safety officer will put up a wall to protect you. Oh, you don't like that because that person really caused you heartache. So you don't like that type of personality. So every time you're faced with that type of personality, you have a complete evasion to it. So what I did with myself is, even though I have a partner, and I have a partner for over 16 years, and everything's all lovely, doubly, I struggled to receive love and I struggled to trust in that relationship. You know, as a bit of a, well, I'm going to just test you to make sure that you do love me. I mean, who's done that? It's going to be a little test to make sure you do love me, if you passed. So, but what happened is I had a heart wall of emotions to stop receiving and giving love.
Okay.
So what I managed to do, you know, since I know I keep on papping on about it,
No, carry on.
you know, an emotional
Yeah.
practitioner, it's been branded the number one energy healing things that you can do for somebody is to release or remove their heart wall. And that's what happened to me. So since my heart wall's been removed, not only through energy healing, but by taking whatever needs to be taken as well to help my internal body with that, the feeling is unbelievable. You feel younger, you feel lighter, and you have trust within your abilities. I have trust more now in my decision making, and I don't second guess. If somebody gives me a compliment, I love it.
You
I might
receive it. Yeah.
bring it on. But
Yeah.
before, oh really? You think so? Thank you. But now I'm like, yeah, I agree with you.
Wow.
So
This is
that's
so
one of the things I
powerful.
look at in my heart.
Fantastic. So I wanted to go back to the book. So is this book for practitioners, or is this?
It's for anybody and everybody out there. So you can go onto Amazon, you can buy it from Amazon. They've got, Dr. Brad Nelson has a website. It's called discoveryhealing.com. You can go onto the website, you can buy it, but it's shipped from America. So it's going to be a bit more expensive. Okay. So you can just go onto Amazon and buy it. I think it's about 17 quid. That's 17 quid. But
wow, gosh, that's so amazing. So let's talk a little bit about the event, which is coming up on Thursday, the 25th of February. So not long to go. February is a short month. So at the event, obviously you're going to do a 30-minute session for us. Do you just want to give us a bit of an idea of what we can expect at that session, please?
Well, I'm hoping to keep it to 30 minutes because, as you well know, Vanessa, I like to chat. So I'm hoping to keep it to 30 minutes. Now, if you're anything like my mind, a little bit like a doubting Thomas, you know, I was hearing all these things about energy healing, and I thought, right, where's the evidence? Where's the proof? Where's the science behind it? So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be talking about how the power of the word can change you. And why do affirmations don't work? Why do people do affirmations and 90% of affirmations do not work? Why is that? What is that missing ingredient? So I'm going to be talking about what is that missing ingredient that we need to have to make sure the power of the word works. Because it's not just about saying, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire. It's not going to work, is it? There's a second part to it. I'm going to be talking about Dr. Emoto, about the work that he's done. And I'm going to be talking about the curling camera as well. And then I'm going to talk about how we can give out love and when we give out love to people, what do the scientists say that happen to the receiver? What happens to their brain waves when we give out love?
Oh, this sounds fantastic. Well, as you know, I like to well, it's not me actually. The guest speakers have been giving some special in the raffle that I've been doing. What is it that they'll be expecting from yourself if we
Oh,
get the lucky winner, which I'm sure we will?
yes, absolutely. So in the raffle, I've just talked about my life experience, how Dr. Brad Nelson and the work that he's done has completely changed my life, not just physically, Vanessa, mentally. Because remember, 90% of mental and physical illness starts with the thought. That's where it
Hmm.
starts. So that's what we do when we help people. So we've had, as I said, we've done over 200 cases, and the successes we've had, honestly, I'm so humble of the life-changing successes we've had with people. Because not only do we help people release unwanted trapped emotions, because that's what they are, through kinesiology, we also hold their hands in how to change their habits to become the better person that they want to be. Now, we obviously usually charge for this, but we're giving it as a free session. So in the free
Wow.
session, they'll have an hour with me where I'll talk about what are your issues. If you had a magic wand and you could get rid of these issues, how would you feel? But not only do they have an hour with me, Vanessa, they also have a one-to-one guided meditation with Madeleine afterwards as well.
Oh wow, you've thrown that in. That's like a bumper prize. That is fantastic. Well, thank you
Absolutely.
so much for that, both of you. And what I would say, just for those of you who are tuning into the recording beforehand, raffle, you do
Mm.
need to be on the call to claim the prize. And the raffle, you can enter the raffle up to 9 p.m. on the night of the 25th. So that's Thursday,
Wow.
the 25th of February. After 9 p.m., I will close the raffle. Thank you so much.
Well, you're more than welcome. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been fun.
Well, I've got one more question for you,
Yes,
if you don't
yes,
mind.
please do.
We like to share happiness habits at the event and also on this podcast call. So, what could you leave us with, please, Victoria?
A happiness habit is this: every time you see yourself in the morning, tell yourself how beautiful you are and how much in control you have. That's what I do. How beautiful I am and how much in control I have. That's a happiness habit that I do.
That is amazing. And I think, during these times, Victoria, when we're not seeing many people around us and we're
Okay.
not having that social interaction, I think love for self is even more important.
Mhm.
And, I haven't planned it this way, but of course it's February, which is all about Valentine's and love and everything else like that. So fantastic. Would you
One
know
little
what?
one little tip as well,
Yes.
Vanessa, is I talked about before about there's not a linear line.
Mm.
Road to recovery or healing is not a straight line, it's up and down. So when I do get those down times, so if you hold yourself like a hug position, and if you close your eyes, and if you just imagine all the people that you love around you,
Oh, wow.
holding you and hugging you and giving you the love, it's scientifically proven that that love will radiate and the waves will go through your brain, and all your trillions of cells will be really happy to receive that love. Because when you've got love and gratitude in your heart, Vanessa, nothing else
Yeah,
can get
this
in.
is powerful. Oh my gosh. How much power have we covered in 40 minutes? This is absolutely amazing. So, what I want to say to the listeners of this podcast, okay, please, you know, having time with Victoria, oh, this is something that we must treasure, okay? So, she's going to be with me on the 25th of February, okay? You can get involved into the raffle. It's a free raffle. There's no charge, but the prize is amazing. Plus, as you can hear, Gentle Harmonies have actually put in an extra bonus prize as well. So
Absolutely.
this podcast is going to be shared on my platform later on this afternoon. Or this evening now, isn't it? Later on this evening. If you're listening to this, please share this with somebody that you love. Because as I've just realized, February is all about the month of love. And in these times, as Victoria said, these hugs are so important. Okay. If you can't be around people to give them that hug, then give the virtual hug by sending them this information and helping them to really tune into their emotions. This is
Absolutely.
amazing. Thank you so much for your time,
Always,
Victoria.
Vanessa,
I'm
you are
just
such a delight. I always love being around you. You're so energetic. I love it.
Oh,
I could just
wow, look at
put
that.
you in my pocket and just take you with me wherever I go.
This is amazing. Do you know, for anybody listening to this, Victoria and myself have not had the pleasure of meeting each other face to face yet. But again, this is about energy.
Yeah.
You can connect with people who are on the same wavelength as you, who've got that heart feeling as you, okay? Through these internet tools that we have access to, and just think if we can energize like this with each other over the internet, just think how amazing it would be where we actually do meet in person. So this is
It's not
great.
ready.
So I'm ending the podcast now. Victoria, just stay there on the line for me.
Okay.
But for all of my listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. The link to the event will be at the bottom of the podcast, wherever you're listening to this from. And Victoria and myself look forward to connecting with you on the call. Take care.
Take care.